Welcome back to another Shadowverse gameplay video. So today we will be playing a Dirt Rune type of variant. And before that, last time we actually ended on a trials for masters, and I said I was going to record all the videos, all the games in one video. It did not do that accidentally. You know, sometimes you just go ahead and you accidentally click on ranked even though you mean unranked. So I was trying to come up with a deck. What kind of deck can we really play, And landed on this. Mage of Nightfall, it turns out, is very good. So I actually have the replay of the first game. So we were against Blood. I believe we played first. Guess we played first. So looking at the hand, I don't really know, I still don't really know how to play the Dirt Rune deck. A lot of the cards, there's a decent amount of new cards with the Star Series Telescope. I do like just playing it out on turn 1. It's similar to, I guess, a Scrap Iron Smelter, except you don't get the 0-2. I don't even know if it's correct to play it on turn 1 with the composition of my hand, but I have been playing it on turn 1 before. It's been okay. I mean, a lot of the time Earthrights kind of act as not a full card some of the time, but they provide a decent amount of tempo, so it's kind of like tempo-y. Gonna play the Magic Illusionist. Unfortunately, the opponent does have the Hungering Horde, which is, the biggest punish that they could have. So they clear our entire board. Looking at our opponent's deck, it looks like the Hungering Horde and Baphomet tell me it's more like a controlling mid-rangey deck. Especially with the Grimnir here. I don't think a more aggressive deck would play that. Vengeance doesn't play any of those cards except maybe Hungering Horde. We got the Levi here. I do decide to go ahead and evolve. Otherwise, our play just playing Levi just seems like a horrible play. In this case, next turn we are going to be able to play the Illusionist, which I've actually cut the Illusionist out of the list at this point. But after this game, we'll go ahead and see. So my opponent plays a Blood Pact. At that point, I'm thinking probably more control-y than mid-range, which is bad news for us. I think generally this deck is decent against Blood, but the only reason it's good against Blood is because Blood does a lot of damage to himself, and we have a lot of burn. Blood, basically, this deck with Master Mage Levi gives it a lot of playability against small creature, small follower-based decks. And so now at this point we're hoping, what do we want to draw? A 1 cost Earth Sigil is exactly what we got. The best one actually, Witch's Cauldron. That's going to allow us to clear the board. It does put him into Vengeance, but we do have a game plan here, especially with the Halo Golem. So the game plan is just to burn out the opponent. They do get the Sabroor here and probably a removal spell. That's going to leave them at 8, which is pretty good for us. The play here, we want to play the Earth Sigil and the Red Hot Ritual for the Mage of Nightfall. It's very hard for Blood to interact with Mage of Nightfall, so that's really good for us. We'll be able to get the kill next turn with the Crimson Sorcerer, Halo Golem, Dwarf Alchemist Evolve. The reason we do not play another follower here, let's say we play the Dwarf Alchemist, there's just ways our opponent could heal off of the Dwarf Alchemist. Not likely, but let's say if we played a 3 health follower, they play 2 Vampire Kisses, suddenly they're at 12, and we do not have lethal. This way, we have lethal anyways. Our opponent's, Blood, the only way to deal with would be Revelation, which is a possible card they could have had, but we still had a lot of goods in our hand if you look at our hand. And so that was, a fast game. Usually they're not this fast because, you have to think about it, both sides have to think about the internet needs to do internet things, but so that's basically how the first match went of our Masters trials. We will go ahead and so it's still called Burn. I was thinking of calling it Earthright Dirt Rune. I think it functions more like a burn deck. So we were running the 3 Witch's Cauldron, 3 Star Series Telescope, 3 Levi, 3 Dwarf Alchemist, 3 Magic Illusionist, 3 Red Hot Ritual, 3 Mage of Nightfall, 3 of the new Carl Pious Instructor. That's actually a pretty decent card, and against aggro, it gets us enough time to our Master Mage Levi can hopefully swing the game back in our favor. Mage of Nightfall honestly is not that good of a card. It's good against like blood. It's very good against blood. They have a hard time interacting with it. It's just like a lot of the time, if we ever get in a situation where we need to race, it's very good. Otherwise, it's kind of underwhelming. It kind of screws up our curve sometimes, but I still like having the 3 because if you look at our curve, it's not that amazing. I'm trying out a concentration. A lot of the times, if you're just dropping Earth Sigils and everything, you may not have a lot of stuff in hand. This can draw us 3 cards, but I'm also interested in the effect that just draws us 2 cards. In more controlling matchups where they don't have a lot of healing, it can be useful. Just to draw cards to burn our opponent out. Remy and Rami, this card is very, very good if we get the evolve. Otherwise, it's kind of underwhelming. I do have 1. It's good against aggro, just a decent 4-drop. We're in a place where we do not have that many great 4-drops. Halo Golem is 4-drop, a lot of the time. Dance of Death and Mutagenic Bolt, so 3 copies with the Wizardess of Oz. Sometimes it just draws a card. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4 spells, so. The whole reason I tried to build this deck again was for Wild Golem. In practice, it hasn't been that good, so interesting enough, I need to be able to read cards before I play them, and I did with this card. Well, I learned already. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower X times. X equals his follower's attack. So, interesting enough, it's not like deal X damage, it's not like a Will of the Forest. This is only going to target 1 follower and then deal the X. So, it's an okay card. I don't actually know how great this card actually is. It is a 5-drop though, which the deck does really need a 5-drop, so it would be good at the 5-drop slot. Professor of Taboos. I was trying out an Astrologist of the Mist. I played it, 5 to 10 games with this deck. I still have not drawn this card, not drawn this card yet, and who knows if it's good or not. It looks not too bad, 6 play point, 5-6 or 6-7. Which is not too bad. Earthright, I guess, is the downside, but it's kind of a bursty card as well. That 1 damage. Master Mage Levi, probably the best card in this deck. And, just being able to do so much work. I hate that card whenever I'm playing like a mid-rangey sword deck, and I just have a lot of random followers on the board. Master Mage Levi just away, deals with Council of Card Knights. It's just super powerful card. And it's still a burn spell. 6 play points for 3 to the face, even if you don't have the Earth Sigils. So another deck I was actually testing out was Vengeance Blood, which is something I've been facing a lot. Not on camera, but just in general. I think we are going to keep this. Though Mage of Nightfall is probably pretty good against any form. So since we don't really have any Earth Essences, I don't think Magic Illusion is going to be that good. If we're playing second, I might keep the Mage of Nightfall and the Pious Instructor, but I think I'm just going to keep the Pious Instructor. 2-drops are not necessarily what I prefer against Rune playing second. Whenever I see Rune, I'm expecting a D-shift. This is one of the weaker hands we could definitely have, just in general. But maybe our opponent is also playing a dirt style deck. Gonna drop the Levi. Kaleidoscopic Glow is just one of those annoying cards, and there it is. Kind of annoying. The reason I keep 3-drops like that is because 3-drops are very powerful in these circumstances. Knowing that we're probably against a D-ship deck with Rune, they're not going to be able to kaleidoscopic it, which is the reason why I like the 3-drops. We have a couple options here. We could just go for the Halo Golem. Our opponent, it seems like not a great play. Unfortunately, we've drawn all 3 of our Levi's, which it's kind of bad. I think, for the sake of mana efficiency, we're just gonna put 5 to the face. Our opponent doesn't really have a way to gain life. There are a lot of things that are bad for us, like a Levi evolve into like a Wind Blast. That's a very possible line. There is the Conjure Golem as a possible line. That's probably going face which is fine for us. So for our opponent, this isn't too bad for us. We do have a few options here. Hopefully we get some part of our top end, you know, something good. Another Red Hot Ritual. So I think the play is Red Hot Ritual. We will go ahead and use the Levi here. It's gonna put us to full, which, you know, it's always good. Maybe your opponent only has 19 when they kill us. That 1 point could matter some point of the time. So we can decide if we want to use Crimson Sorcerer here, and I think... I think we actually will use it. It's possible that, I mean, we are definitely the aggressor in this type of matchup, and it's possible we just next turn we want to play as many followers as possible. Maybe there's a situation where that one play point can help us. So opponent's drawing a lot of cards. Something like a Fiery Embrace would be pretty bad. It doesn't look like they have the Fire Embrace if they're making that trade. We're not in a great... We're like in a weird position here. So if we play this... So the reason we didn't evolve this last turn, I guess in hindsight it looks like it would have been a better play to evolve this. So we could play Levi, Magic Illusionist. I think I prefer doing this. This is interesting. I don't really know what our opponent can have. Okay, I think I'm gonna evolve here. I think I prefer this type of play. I really don't know what the play actually was. I don't think there was a really good play. We do have like a decent amount of top decks that we can get. I also do like saving the one Earth Sigil in our hand in case it matters, like a Halo Golem could matter. One has a lot of cards in hand, a lot of answers possible. I do like that 2 play points are already used up. Chain of Calling. Flame Destroyer, okay. Kaleidoscopic is pretty annoying there. That's interesting. So our opponent probably has a Flame Destroyer or a Levi in hand. And there's the Mage of Nightfall. So if our opponent can't kill us next turn, I guess. There isn't really a way for us to play around it. Just go for the Mage of Nightfall here. We can't actually kill the Flame Destroyer, unfortunately. I think we'll just play the Magic Illusionist and hold on to the Red Hot Ritual just in case we need it for like a Halo Golem or even like a Professor of Taboos. Our opponent has played a lot of cards, which is not good for us. There's the Dimension Shift. Man, that was like... a 2/5 cost D shifts. Man, Our opponent's hand must have been pretty amazing at the beginning. They must have started off with like a decent amount of D-shifts at the beginning. Unfortunately, we did lose that one. That's a critical trial. That's a loss. That is a little unfortunate, but we will go ahead and, I mean, we start off with the deck. Hopefully we can finish off with a win, starting off with a win. Honestly, I'm not very good with this deck. I would say our draw that game was not very good. Our opponent's draw was, I would say, above average, but not like a god draw or anything. Ooh, Dragon is the class that I did not want to see. I do not think this deck is good against Dragon at all. Do I want Dwarf Alchemist? I think this is fine. If this is like the PDK Dragon, honestly, like all forms of Dragon are bad for this deck. PDK Dragon, like the Prime Dragon Keeper one, I think we have a better matchup. Mutagenic Bolt can try and help us steal a game, maybe. We do have 2 Levi's, which is nice, but depending on what type of deck our opponent is, I mean, some sort of ramp for sure. Dragon Summoner. We'll just play the Illusionist. Mage of Nightfall seems like it's actually a pretty good card in this matchup. Once again, just having 4 points of burst, quote unquote. It's bad against like Wrath Strike, but I don't think people really play that card. Levi's gonna be good. I think we're just gonna go for mana efficiency here. Play a bunch of things. And we're just gonna go face, because we are certainly the aggressive deck here. Looking to draw something good off the top with the Witch's Cauldron. That'd be nice. Our opponent has not ramped yet, which is pretty good for us until now. Mushusu, okay. Put a random from your deck into from. So this is probably PDK. Prime Dragon Keeper. We'll go ahead and hit this down. Which is okay news for us. I mean, the thing with Dragon decks is they always run, you know, a bunch of aggressive cards. Like they always have the forts, they always run Sybils. Like Sybil is just like multi-purpose healing, which it would be very horrible here, and then there it is. One of those cards that just is very annoying. Dance of Death off the top is kind of what we're hoping for here. At the dance's end, how about the dance's death? The dance of death, please. Halo Golem. And I guess it's fine. Not ideal, but we are going to go ahead and have to get rid of that. The question is if we want to evolve the Magic Illusionist. I think it's fine to evolve it here. Our opponent could have something like a Conflagration, but they want to get rid of the Crimson Sorcery. I think we don't really need to get rid of it. Looking at our hand, we have, you know, Levi. So next turn if we play Levi, the next turn we can play Levi Crimson Sorcery. And of course that's another Sybil. Kind of annoying. And the Dragoon Scyther. Dragon. think we'll just evolve this. Just need to get in damage as we can. The Witch's Cauldron is actually a nice one, in case, you know, our opponent just has, you know, a board of just random followers like Mushu Soon related garbage. We'll be able to Witch's Cauldron into Master Mage. There's the PDK. Breath of Salamander. There's the Dance of Death, which is not my favorite card to see. I mean, not my favorite card, but in this case, we have a couple options. I think the Crimson Sorcery, we'll just have to hope our opponent doesn't have anything really good. And then we have the decision here of Dwarf Alchemist, which I think is the one we're going to go for. The other option would be to remove the Ivory Dragon, but I don't think it poses that much of a threat. There's a Dragon Summoner, hopefully, you know, Dragoon Scyther, it's fine. Hippogriff Rider is fine. They're deciding to go face, which is really nice for us. We're gonna be able to just go. We have lethal. Sorcery 3, 3, 2, no. We'll be able to deal 2 here. Go for the Levi. Clearing up that board. And then doing that. So we're in a okay position. Our opponent has a lot of ways to, you know, dodge lethal. For sure. Like, Sybil is definitely drawn there. I mean, Sybil doesn't dodge lethal, but there's so many ways our opponent could dodge lethal here. Any, like, removal spell for the Levi, you know, Breath of Salamander. Oh. And they are going to go ahead and concede. Honestly, our hand wasn't looking very nice. We had 3, like, Earth Essences, Earth Sigils, but no way to activate them. A nice win there. I think that means Masters. Ooh, Masters rank achieved. And now there's an impossible goal of Grand Masters. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing that anytime soon, but it's really nice to be in the Masters. This deck was, I don't think it's a very good deck that I'm playing right now. It seems fine. The Wild Golem, unfortunately, we weren't able to see it. It was a, you know, a decent card. We'll go ahead and oh baby, get that Shadowverse Rex Flare. Oh baby. What's our flare now? Salty, right? I believe we're salty, because we're always salty. But, yep, we're salty. And it was on the 997 wins. And, you know, I've been hovering around, you know, this area for a long time. But pretty interesting. Finally Masters, which is pretty nice. There's this Masters menu, which honestly I've never seen. I don't even know what happens. So basically it does nothing, which is fine. And, you know, it tells me my Masters score, and I guess it keeps track of your Masters score in case. I don't really know if I'm ever gonna get there. Look at these levels. We have decent level stuff here. But I'd like to thank everyone for watching this Masters achieving playthrough of Dirt Rune. And from now on, we're just gonna be, you know, Masters level games. You know, we can become Master. The Master Quest. And rate, comment, subscribe, and see you later.